Who do I have with me here today?
Cyle Rickner.
Cyle Rickner. What do you do, Kyle?
I own a security company here in Lakeland called Rickner Smart Solutions.
Rickner Smart Solutions. Where are you originally from, if you don't mind me asking?
Fort Myers, born and raised.
Oh, so you're a Floridian.
I am a native Floridian.
You're more native than I am.
What? Where are you from?
I'm originally from Cincinnati,
Ohio.
Ohio.
I got family up in Port Clinton. We go there almost every year for a reunion.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Puddin Bay, that little area up there, Catawba.
my mom was from Kansas. My dad's from Indiana. And my dad was in the Marines. And he got stationed, his last duty station was in Kansas. They met in a department store, eloped, moved back to Indiana, and then he took a job in Cincinnati. And so I was raised in a little town called Hamilton, Ohio,
Okay.
north of Cincinnati, 20 miles north of Cincinnati. Went to high school, graduated in '86, dicked around for a couple days, years, joined the Army. And when I was in the Army, my mom and dad job transferred to Tampa. And
Okay.
when I got out of the Army, I was like, Tampa, in Florida, I'll try that. So I came down here to Florida and USF and met the Plant City girl of my dreams, got married, and then landed here in Lakeland. So what brought you from Fort Myers to Lakeland?
Well, it's actually, it wasn't a direct transfer, I guess you'd call it that. I left Fort Myers, I joined the Army. I went over to Korea for a little bit.
Oh, you're a veteran, huh?
Yeah, and then I went to, came home from Korea, went back to Fort Myers, Cape Coral for a little while, ended up moving to Miami, lived there for like 3 years. Oh, I did not like it there.
Oh, you didn't?
No. It was,
You speak Spanish?
No, not even a little bit. And it was funny because I was working at like where I was working at, everybody like looked at me funny because they're like, dude, you're in Miami, you don't speak Spanish? I'm like, no. And they're like, why'd you move here? I'm like, I don't know, I had to move here. You know, when I left there, so when I left to move here, my rent in Miami for a 2-bedroom apartment was $3,000 a month. Yes.
What year?
2021 or 2022. I moved to Lakeland in 2023, so like,
Wow.
yeah, it was bad.
And it's getting worse. It ain't getting better yet.
No, and I remember there was a 1-bedroom in Brickell going for $10,000 a month. I'm like, I mean, I guess the people working in Brickell could afford that because that's like the financial.
They're just looking for suckers.
Yeah.
Who's the sucker that's gonna buy it this month?
$10,000 a month, yeah. So when I moved to Lakeland, and I ended up at an apartment complex off of Lakeland Hills. It was $1,700 for a 2-bed, 2-bath, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's half the price. You know what I mean? That's a huge drop. It was I'm not going to name the place, but it was the worst.
There's only a couple of them.
Well, I'll let people.
So you just from Miami? You were just on a computer and looking for.
So I needed a place that was in between Tampa and Orlando.
Okay.
And Lakeland just so happened to be that little dot right in the middle, and I was like, oh yeah, let's go there. So when I say it was the worst apartment I've ever stayed in my life, it was so bad. I mean, I ended up, so, you know, normally you sign a lease, there's no getting out of that. You got to pay if you want to get out of it. The apartment was so bad that I went down to the leasing office and I just said, hey, here you go. I had a lawyer draft
After a couple weeks?
After about 2 months. I was like, they're not fixing the problems. Like the AC and we're on the top floor, and it was like 80 degrees in our apartment on a consistent basis. I just said, look, I'll make this easy. I'll make this fair. I'll let you keep my security deposit. It was like $500. I'll let you keep my security deposit. You let me out. Like I'm good. I don't want to take you to court. I don't want to go back and forth. Let's just make this easy for everybody. Just let me out. And then I found there was a rental actually on the same street that I bought my house on, 2 houses down. It was going for, I think, $1,750 a month, and I was like, oh, it's a 3-bed, 2-bath. I didn't really know the area too well.
And the AC worked?
Oh, it was a brand new house. I didn't really know the area too well, so like I said, it's about a mile away from Combe. Even today, been there for about 3 years and off the same road, it's not that bad. I mean, it really isn't.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a nice little area. Look, there are parts of Miami that I was legitimately scared to walk down, let alone even live in.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's like, you guys think this is bad? Like this is pretty nice.
I'm in Lakeland, baby.
Yeah.
What'd you do in the Army?
So I was a 91 Bravo wheeled vehicle mechanic. So I worked on Humvees, things like that.
Oh, wow.
It was boring.
It was boring?
It was boring. I mean, I think the most fun I had was, sometimes we would get some really unique issues is a good way to put it. So, try to...
Did you ever work on tracks, like M1?
No. So I think that's it's a 91 series, but wheeled vehicle mechanics and track mechanics, they're their own separate jobs. And I was also Hotel 8 certified, so I was a 91 Bravo with the Hotel 8, I forget what the term is for it, but you go to a separate school and you get certified, so you a recovery operations specialist. So you basically a glorified tow truck driver. You learn how to weld, you learn how to cut metal.
Delta 88 and a Delta.
Yeah. But no, I mean it was just, I did 2 years. I ended up I got medically discharged, if you want to call it that. Had some heart inflammation, and then I had some disc compression. So it's mainly the heart inflammation, though, where they were kind of just like, hey, you're a liability with that. We thank you for your service. I got an AAM on the way out. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Good
It
luck.
happens.
Good luck with your life. And I tried to. I don't really like to. It's not that I don't like to talk about it per se, because I would have liked to at least fulfill my full 4 years. So the fact that I didn't get to fulfill my full term bugs me a little bit. But then again, I think about it, I'm like, well, there are some people that literally just go to boot camp and then they don't even finish that. So it's
what I did?
at least I got to leave America.
Yeah,
That's what I look at.
My dad said, get a job or get out.
Grandpa said pretty much the same thing.
So I went down to the recruiter's office, and in downtown Hamilton, it said 2-year enlistment, 3-year enlistment, 4-year enlistment. I was like, they got a 2-year enlistment? I was like, I can do 2 years standing on my head.
Yeah.
I went in there and talked to him, and he said, yeah, we got 2-year enlistment. If you can get a 50 or more on the ASVAB,
that's easy.
you get 2 years.
Yeah.
I got a 51.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I got a 51. He says, yeah. So he offered me, figure this one out, right? I'm the dumbest there is. 51. He gave me the option of being a grunt, just a soldier, infantry.
13 was
I could be an air traffic controller.
Wait, what?
Air traffic controller.
You went with that then, right?
No.
Oh.
Or an M1 tank driver.
Oh, that's cool.
I was a tank driver. I took the 2 years on tanks. I was stationed at Fort Knox, Kentucky, an hour and a half away. I was home every weekend, dude.
Yeah. That's
it was a breeze.
That's a win-win. And you set for, what people don't realize is it's like, oh, I could never do that. It's like, well, you really could. And then people say, oh, well, I want free healthcare, free all this. It's like, okay, well, go. There are ways to get where the country will take care of you. Go serve your country. Don't do anything stupid while you're doing it. And then do your time, get out. If you want to make it a career. I got a buddy now who I went to AIT with. It's so funny. We actually, in AIT, we hated each other. Hated
Enemies,
each other.
huh?
Oh, dude, like, if we saw each other outside, it was probably on scene, he'd probably hit me. I get to Korea, and they tell me, yeah, you're going to have a roommate? And I'm like, oh, great. So, who's my roommate? And then they say, oh, his name's Ahern. And I'm like, Ahern. I was like, short guy, bald, a little bit older? And they're like, yeah, you know him? And I was like, no. And I was like, I'm going to be his roommate? And they're like, yeah. I was like, we didn't really get along. And the first sergeant, he goes, that's perfect. Even more of a reason. You guys are going to figure that out in your room. So he comes back from the motor pool, because we were the same MOS. And I'm just like sitting on the bed, like, my bed's over on this side. And he walks in and he just goes, Rickner? And I'm like, what's up, man? I was like, this we're roommates. He dropped his little backpack, turned around and walked out. And he comes back with the sergeant, and the sergeant says, we're not moving him here. You guys have to figure it out. So we're sitting there.
Dude.
For the first 2 hours. I think it was just it was the most
I gotta deal with
pure
this.
silence, because you could tell he was thinking about how are we going to do this? So he says to me, he's like, you want to go get a drink? And I'm like, okay. So we go out, have a drink, and he's just like, all right, man. He's like, I'm going to forget everything that has happened up until this point, but you have got to, we just got to start from scratch. So, and then it's just funny is he ends up being one of my best friends. He's still in the Army now. He's over in Germany. And sometimes we don't agree on certain things, But to me, I don't care about people's views. You're my friend. If you're my
That's
friend,
right.
you're my friend. We don't have to agree.
Your
on
mom and
everything.
dad you may not agree with.
Exactly.
They brought you into this world.
That's what I'm saying. And so he's now, he plans on, he just hit E6. He plans on dropping his warrant packet. I told him, I was like, how long do you want to do? He's been in 10 years now, almost 10 years. And he's like, I think I'm going to do 30. And I was like, you only have to do 20 to get full
Damn.
retirement. Like, he's like, yeah, I know, but, I care about the soldiers. And honestly, he really does. The Army needs more leaders like him. And I've told him that so many times. I'm like, dude, you're in the right place, because quite often, there's so many times where he could have done stuff that served his interests, but he put his soldiers' needs first. And to me, that's a leader.
That's fantastic.
So, but anyways, yeah, that's.
Okay.
It's just, I just
That's a
thought,
great story.
I just thought it was funny, like, enemies, and then you end up being best
That's
friends,
what,
and
you never
yeah.
know what's going to be.
No.
So you got to Lakeland and you got into security, or?
So that's actually another funny one. I'm telling you, I got
Sure, go ahead.
There's so many funny stories. So I moved to Lakeland, and I'm like, okay, I need a job. Like, start applying, start looking, just something to kind of fill the gap until I find what I want. You got to make money. You have to have money coming in. So
That $1,700 a month payment comes no matter
it's
what.
got to come from something. So I took a job working at the Lens Crafters over on South Florida,
Dude,
next to Chipotle.
you might have worked for my brother,
Who?
Shelby Burns.
No. This was like, my manager was Stacy. So this was like 2023, 2024.
Yeah,
End of
Shelby.
2023.
He was a district manager.
Oh no, he's probably like
Okay.
over. Yeah, I just worked with like our store manager. And I was,
Okay.
So I was just a sales rep there, retail sales. Well, it's funny. So one day, I had been, it's a lot of sitting and waiting for people to come in. So one day, you're sitting there and you're just thinking, and I'm like, gosh, okay, I really need to start thinking about what I want to do long term, because this is.
Do you have a family?
Well, I do now. I've got a wife and a daughter. But back then, no. It was just, I still needed to figure out, like, okay, what am I going to do? I don't want to work for Lens Crafters forever. And, I sold a lot of glasses. I mean, there was one month I did $38,000 selling glasses. I didn't make that, but I made that for the store. And I'm thinking, oh man, my commission check and this is actually what kind of made me start thinking of, I need to look for another job. I was like, oh, my commission check's going to be so good, because I was the highest performer in the store. Get this. You only get commission if the store hits its goal. So I sold $38,000, but the store as a whole, so everybody else didn't, I didn't get any commission. So I mean, you'd be looking for a new job too after that.
Yeah.
Because I did the
There's
math.
no incentive there.
No, and I did the math. I would have probably gotten around $2,500 in commission. That's for a retail employee.
Hell yeah.
That's a lot. That's a good chunk of change.
It comes to $1,700 for your house bill after taxes.
It covers. Yeah.
Here you go.
So, but anyways, funny story. I'm sitting there one day, and this guy comes in, and that parking lot really gets backed up. The light wasn't. They fixed it now. It's gotten a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But the light wasn't timed correctly. Well, this guy's sitting there trying on his glasses, and like I said, I'm kind of, I don't want to say checked out, but I kind of, this was after I got, and I don't like.
Are you disappointed?
Yeah, because I didn't get paid. I was a little upset. And I'm like, he's like, what do you think of these? And I'm like, and I'm not gonna look. They're still gonna get my full attention either way, regardless if I'm not happy. My customer service skills. My first job was working at Publix. Take customer service seriously, and I'm like, we're trying them on, and I went and picked out a few pairs that I thought he would like, and all of a sudden the cars start honking in the parking lot, and he turns around and goes, "What's going on out there?" I was like, "Oh, the lights, the light isn't timed correctly, and it gets backed up. It doesn't change, and this happens a lot." And he says back, "Well, I'll have someone look into that." Don, I said, probably could have said it nicer. I said, "Well, what are you going to do about it?" And he goes, "Well, I'm the mayor." And I'm like, "No, you're not." And I look over at my boss, and I'm like, "Stacy, is this guy the mayor?" And she turns and goes, "Oh my gosh, yes, hi, Mr. Mayor." And instead of getting, this is the funny part. So instead of getting all, "Oh, I'm so sorry," blah, 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 I just turned and said, "So when are you going to fix that light?" And he starts laughing, and
It was Mayor
Mutz,
Mutz.
yeah. And to this day, we went out to lunch a couple months ago, and we talked. We went over that story, and we still laugh
That's
about
funny.
it. It's just
And
funny.
he ended up getting it worked on.
And he ended up, now it's time. Someone did something because
Someone got some authority, don't they?
It's the timing is fixed and the light actually changes now. So I don't know. I just thought that was just a funny story of just like, wow, I just moved to this city and then I meet the mayor and I don't even realize that I met the mayor. And about a week or two later, I'm again sitting there looking out the window, and I see an ADT solar, truck, because ADT had their own solar division.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my buddies was just been telling me a couple weeks ago, oh dude, my brother got a job in solar and he's making blah, 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 blah. Like that's where the money's at right now, especially if you're good at sales. Like you're talking 250,000 plus a year if you can close the deals. And I'm like, that doesn't sound too bad. I like the sound of that. So put an application in, got interviewed, got hired. My first day, Don, at ADT Solar, I have my fresh, brand new company email. ADT announces they are exiting the solar industry.
The same day?
The day that my first day.
Dude.
My first day. You want to talk about luck? That was just wow. So my boss is telling us, oh, well, we're going to get acquired, so everybody keep, business as usual, keep closing deals.
Right.
They haven't told us to stop selling. Well, me being the new guy, if your boss tells you that, you're like, oh yeah, cool, great, stay optimistic, positive. Everybody else on the team, it's all the writing on the wall. They're like, yeah, they started looking for new jobs, everybody's getting. So it comes down to a meeting, and now, give you some context, I have been an ADT customer since I moved out on my own. Like, I have always had a security system in my house.
Oh, okay.
Since I moved out on my own. When I moved to Miami, I tried to cancel, and honestly, this is one of the reasons why I started my own company. So when I moved to Miami, I was like, hey, when I bought the equipment, they said, oh yeah, you can break it up into payments, because the security systems aren't cheap. I mean, they're expensive pieces of equipment.
Sure.
You can split it up in payments, and I remember asking the lady on the phone, I said, okay, but if I need to, I can pay it off early. And you know what I mean? Because then
buy your contract out.
I can pay off the equipment early, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So it's time to move to Miami. I pay off my equipment, and I call to cancel my service because I'm moving from a house to an apartment. And if, homes, you definitely should have a security system. Apartments, it's going to be temporary. Maybe you can put up like a doorbell camera or something. But
Yeah.
I mean, for most of the time, unless you have one of those apartments that it has like a door to the outside and anybody can just kind of walk up to it, then there are options where you don't have to drill into the wall and you can do like countertop.
You're on the second or third floor.
Yeah. So I call to cancel and they say, oh, okay, that's fine. It'll be $2,856. I'm like, what? I told them, no, I paid off the equipment already. No. And she says, no, that's to buy out of your contract. And I said, well, I did math. I was like, well, how long is the contract? She said, well, you signed a 60-month agreement. I said, no, I financed the equipment over 60 months. I didn't sign a 60-month contract. Oh, yes, you did. Yeah, your signature's right here. I'm like, nobody told me that. That's why I explicitly asked, hey, I can pay this off early. To me, if somebody asked me that, that's insinuating like, hey, if something happens, I can pay it off and I can cancel and there's not going to be this exactly what happened.
Right.
And I did the math and I'm like, so it's literally, I can either cancel it, pay the exact same amount of money I would have paid to keep the service for the entire life of the agreement. Come to find out, that's how the entire security industry operates.
It is. See, I didn't know that.
Well, it's because there's two reasons. One, and this is something that I learned at ADT when I worked for their security division, is that almost all security companies take a loss on the installation. They're
paying the labor and
they eat the cost up front because they know that, okay, hey, we'll make our money back in the long run.
Kind of like the cell phones when you buy a cell phone.
Oh yeah, it's free. You just have to stay with us for 36 months.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really free? Because I'm paying more for. Yeah, exactly. So they gave me this DIY system. I took it to my house, and then when I moved to Lakeland, same thing. I put the system.
So did you get out of it?
No, I had to finish the full.
Could you transfer it to here? Okay.
Yeah. So I finished my full 5 years, and it's funny. My 5-year agreement ended while I was an employee there for their security side, and then I ended up signing because they were running a special where, oh, we want employees to test out our new system that we're offering to everybody, but you have to sign a new 36-month agreement. And I'm like, Okay, but then does that lock in my employee? Like you get an employee discount, it makes it was a wash. It worked out. So
You are a timing oddity.
I know it's so my boss. So back to back how I got there. So my boss is sitting there and he's like, all right, so he calls us all into the office. All right, what does everybody want to do? Here are the companies that I've spoken with that are willing to hire, that would, that'll interview you and take you on if you're coming from here. And he's like, here are your options. What does everybody want to do? It gets to me and I said, well, honestly, I'd like to stay with ADT. I mean, and everybody like looked at me like, oh, you want to stay with them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, can I move over to the security side? And my boss reached out to the president of ADT Solar, which was closing down, had a meeting with her. She reached out to some big wigs at ADT Security on their business division, got me an interview for a business account executive out of the Tampa office, the corporate office in Tampa. I went to the interview.
They're franchises, aren't they?
There are franchises, like dealers, but no, I worked for the actual.
Okay,
like
there is a major one.
My email ended CyleRickner@ADT.com,
Okay.
not like at Safe Streets or
Right,
Safe
right,
Haven
right.
or something like that. So I'm working there, and I was killing it because I personally believe in protecting my home. So for me, it's an easy sell because it's like I don't really have to sell you on it. I just have to tell you, hey, look, I'm a customer myself. Regardless, name
That
of the
helps
company.
with your customers in the future.
So, what I didn't like is, even as a corporate account executive, if my customers had an issue, there was like, even if I called and said, hey, I already verified that there's an issue, we need to get somebody out here, like they need a technician, something, the camera has gone out, something happened, whatever. The amount of hoops that they would make people jump through to get a technician dispatched for an issue that clearly required someone to come out. They would say, oh, well, did you do the virtual appointment where you video call with one of our techs and then we try to fix it remotely? It's all about saving money. Oh, we don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I even had a customer that said, hey, I will pay the $99, like whatever the fee is to get them out here. I just want it fixed. And when even that guy couldn't get somebody out, I said, there's
corporate red tape.
Even if you have someone advocating for you that works for corporate, you're still just a number. And I'll give you another example. I had a client who, she was, I don't want to say going out of business, but like sometimes you have to make exceptions as the owner. You don't make exceptions all the time, but on certain like hardship, hey, your business shut down. I'm not going to hold you to a business agreement. Like, I'm not going to hold you to a security contract that you signed for your company and your company's going out of business. Show me the paperwork showing you're going out of business. Show me that you're closing down. As soon as you close down, give me the paperwork showing me you dissolved the LLC. We'll call
You
it.
probably, after a few months yourself, are now into the profit, right?
So we have officially hit the part where our recurring revenue outweighs our expenses.
But as a customer, if you just sign up someone new
Yeah.
as a business and they go out of business, if it's 6 months later, you're not taking a loss. You're still okay.
No, I am taking it.
Oh, you are?
So part of the reason why I started Rickner Smart Solutions is I wanted to give the customers, I didn't want to force people to stay with us. I wanted people to stay with us because they wanted to stay with us. And that's
customer service.
That's what builds a loyal customer base, that even if someone tries to offer them a new thing or something or a better deal, no, I'm happy with where I am because I can't get, my buddy Sam actually told me this.
When I call, he'll show up.
Exactly. I mean, you get to talk to the same person every time. My technician is also an Army veteran. He's an infantryman. I mean, the values that I carry across the board, they stay the same. You're not going to have a different experience.
That's the difference between a corporation and a sole proprietor. That's the difference.
Exactly. And, but no, to answer your last question, so every time I sign for a customer, and there's a reason why I have a minimum 12-month agreement. Like if you are going to get service with me and you're a residential customer, it's a 12-month commitment. You have to. Because I have to commit 12 months with my providers for every customer. So even if let's say you were to cancel 6 months in, I still have to pay for your account until 12 months. So The agreement protects me.
While you're at it, real quick, tell me what the services that you offer are, real quick.
So we have monitored security systems.
Monitored?
We do camera installations, low voltage wiring. I mean, we can pretty much do anything in the realm of network infrastructure per se. Everything besides like, the setup of your Wi-Fi and stuff. I have a IT person that I'll refer them to, but we can get the bones put in and then they can
Right.
handle the actual software
Okay.
side. But mainly we like to do security systems, monitored security systems, cameras, access control where you walk up to the building and tap your badge and the door opens. So we try to be everyone's one-stop shop here in Lakeland for their security needs.
That's fantastic. And I noticed that, are you still doing some of the camera stuff with your own? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, what do you mean?
Like Rickner camera.
Oh yeah, no. Our cameras and our security panels are branded with our logo. So we work with the distributor. They take care of everything. They brand the cameras. They brand the equipment. Comes with a warranty from the manufacturer if they purchase it from us. Some of them, there's one. I mean, these are for more like large commercial projects because.
You do commercial and residential?
Yeah, we do commercial and residential.
Okay.
Some of those recorders cost thousands of dollars, and that's me buying them wholesale. Some of those, there are recorders that have 200 channels where you can have 200 cameras. Now this is for something like airports,
Okay.
like government buildings that have to have a camera every 5 feet or something. But that's the thing is it's like when it kind of gives us the flexibility where we've got options for every level. Dude, I have thermal cameras. I have cameras that can see heat.
So a channel is a camera, essentially?
Each channel is one camera.
Okay.
They're starting to get smart with the technology though, where they're putting 2 lenses in one camera. So they've got cameras that have a 220 degree, that's seeing almost behind you, and it's on one channel. So it's 2 cameras, but it's only using one channel. One of the things that I like to do and kind of how we do things differently is every customer is a person, not just a number. My goal is with what I'm building here is to kind of say, hey, you went with us for a reason. I want to make sure that reason is always.
They're gonna tell their friends, they're gonna tell their family members.
Exactly. So, one of the other things, and this is actually crazy. So, if you want to, let's say, not a DIY system like Ring or something you buy off of Amazon, look,
Best Buy.
I'm telling you, anyone watching this, I'm telling you right now, if you can buy it off the shelf, I can jam it with a $20 tool I bought off of Amazon, and then it's useless.
If it's over Wi-Fi, but if it's over wired.
So even wireless, there are sensors that do what's called frequency hopping, where even if I were to try to jam that wireless sensor, the sensor can actually tell, hey, something's blocking me from talking to the panel on this channel. Let me jump, and I think it's got like 60 other channels it can jump to. Let me jump to this channel. But like I said, if you can purchase it on the shelf and you don't have to have a license to buy it or install it, there's a good chance it can be jammed with it's called a flipper. You can literally go buy it on.
What if it's wired?
Hardwired? No. But somebody can. The problem.
Just cut the line.
Yeah, this is the problem with older wired systems is somebody can just cut the line. The newer ones, like the ones that we put in, are dual path communication. So they'll connect to the customer's Wi-Fi, but they'll also have an LTE backup where it'll Verizon or AT&T, it can jump, use that network that's there. So what's really nice is back in the day, if someone had an old hardwired system, like, one that's not wireless at all, it's just communicates over the telephone line. If someone were to walk in, let's say you open the door and a countdown will start. And you've got about 30 seconds before the alarm starts going. It gives people time to go and disarm it if it's them coming in. Well, back in the day, if you just destroy that panel, the countdown stops. The countdown stops.
You just rip it off the wall.
Disconnect it, the countdown stops. So if they can destroy the panel before the alarm started sounding, that's it. Nothing's going to happen. These new panels, because they're dual path, let's say I walk into a place and they've got one of our panels, our new touch panels put in, and they smash it with a hammer, dump water on it, rip it off the wall, break it into pieces. The countdown stopped on the panel, but as soon as that door got opened, the countdown started in the cloud too. So when the countdown in the cloud ends and it now notices the panel is offline, it's called smash and crash protection. It's still going to, even though you're not going to hear the alarm going off, they're still going to treat it as a, hey,
in a minute there's going to be some visitors.
There's going to be some, like, hey, not only did the countdown start, the panel was destroyed. So that's kind of a double red flag. So, people don't realize that nowadays it's very important to have the dual path communication. You don't want a Wi-Fi only system, because Wi-Fi only, I cut the fiber line outside your house, I cut your spectrum cable that's running on the power line.
That's the signal.
Your system's dead. Whereas people now with the commercial grade stuff that, like I said, you gotta have a license to purchase, you put that in, I cut your Wi-Fi off, the panel automatically is already talking over Verizon. And I tell people all the time, like, look, if someone is willing to cut the cell tower off next to your house before they rob you, come on.
You better have some value.
You better have, there's gotta be something there. That's like Ocean's 11 level stuff. I mean, what are you doing?
That's funny.
So,
Ocean's 11.
But something that something that we do differently is that you can actually go on our website. And
what website is that?
It's RicknerSmartSolutions.com.
Rickner, how do you spell that?
RICKNER, SmartSolutions.com.
Okay.
So you can actually go on our website, and normally when you go on a website where someone's going to professionally install your system, they never tell you what the price is online. It's always, fill out this form.
Asterisk.
Someone will call you now, or click to talk to a sales representative. As someone who's worked in sales for quite some time, I know that there's people who don't want to be sold. They don't want to be sold. I mean, nobody really wants to be sold, but there are people who legitimately, they know what they want, and they just want to go on, purchase it, schedule their install, and be done with it. So you can actually go on our website. There's 3 tiers. You can build and design your system completely online because they're wireless sensors. I mean, it's not like we're having to run cabling everywhere.
Yeah.
We have some flexibility with where we can place it. Now, we're still going to go out there in person, make sure that, hey, if we need to, hey, this sensor's a little far, we have a different type of sensor, we'll go ahead and upgrade that sensor and just pay the difference. We'll take your old one, maybe it's an extra like $20 or something.
Okay, yeah.
Upgrade that one sensor that's going to be super far from the panel, so that way we're making sure that it reaches everything. But you can go in there, design your system from scratch, order it, and we'll call you to schedule it.
Okay. Do you guys offer like free estimates and all that?
Oh yeah, you can get free consultations. I will go out there myself, walk you through, hey, here's what you need, and here's what you don't. I mean, one of the things that I did differently when I worked at ADT, and I got in trouble a little bit for this, because they're all about hitting the numbers. They're like, no, you got to sell more per thing, and it's like, well, yeah, but they didn't need that. Like, I'll give you an example. I got a little retail store. It's like the size of maybe these 2 rooms put together. They don't need 7 glass break detectors and 5 motion detectors throughout the store. You can
oversell.
If you really want to do it, if you really want to go overkill, put a motion detector at the front and put one in the back. Put a door sensor on the front door and the back door and put the panel in.
But that don't make the stock price go up.
It doesn't make the stock price go up. And it's like, I only believe in selling people what they need, not what I need.
It used to be that way.
And so it should be.
I agree. It should be that way. I'm a sole proprietor. Yeah. It's a one-man band.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be. These corporations they try to make as much profits instead of upselling.
Look, and I don't blame them for wanting to make profit. That's why they're in business. That's why they're not a non-profit. They're in business to make a profit. I don't blame them for that part. It's just sometimes the way that things are done, to me, there's a line where sometimes it can get close to being, I don't want to say unethical.
Well, when you go corporate means one thing: maximize profit.
Right.
That word maximize.
And it's like, look, I'm not going to sell this little old lady who's in a 2-bed, 1-bath house.
Oh, there's people that would.
She doesn't need, I mean, no, like, I'm not going to sell her 18 sensors and 3 panic buttons and 2 smoke detectors in there. You know what I mean? I'm only going to tell her, hey, I'm going to go there. Hey,
I'm
man.
falling and I can't get up.
Yeah, like we'll put a door sensor on each door. If you want, we can put some on the window. We can come. In my opinion, there are people that will put a sensor on every single window in their house. Now, to be fair, I own a security company. So, of course, I have one on every single window of my house. But for most people, especially people that are just, hey, I want to feel safe, but I can't afford to spend $3,000 on a security system. Well, ma'am, sir, you can easily get away with, hey, let's cover the doors, put one on the front door, one on the back door. That's why our basic package, all of them come with 2 door sensors and a motion detector. Boom, boom, put a motion detector in the hallway or the centermost part of your home. So even if someone were to break in through the window, as soon as they hit that motion detector, as long as you're using your system, if you're not arming your system, I can put as many sensors as you want, and it's just going to tell you that the door, hey, this window got opened at this time.
It's like a security guard falling asleep.
Yeah, and it's like, so 2 doors and a motion detector, that's all most people need. Now, if you got a large custom home, sure, put it on. Maybe you want it on the kids' windows because the kids are starting to get older and you want to you sneaking out. I'm going to know. So,
yeah. Here's the problem. You have ethics.
Right.
You have ethics. You're not going to oversell a customer.
No.
You're going to give them what they need. If they decide they want more, you're going to let them get more.
Exactly.
You have ethics.
That's the approach I take. Hey, this is what I think you need. If you want, we can cover it. Hey, you want to cover every single window in this house? Of course. I mean, I'm going to make more money. Of course, I'm not going to say no.
Sure.
But am I going to tell you, hey, this is what I recommend? You can go off what I recommend, or you can add, or you can take away. But here's the bare minimum that I would say you need to protect yourself and your family.
What phone number? How can they contact you by phone?
So it's our company line is 863-701-4973, and that's our main office line. Don't text it; it's a landline, but they can press 1 and it'll ring directly to my cell phone. So there's other options too. I used to run everything from my cell phone, but then once we started offering monitored security, I needed the ability for them where they can call, and the first thing it says when they call is if this is an emergency and you need, or if your alarm is going off, press 9 and it'll connect them to the monitoring center. So that way, if it's going off and they haven't been called or something like that, honestly though, if their alarm is going off, we're gonna already have called them before they call us, because we have a UL certified monitoring center. They have 9 locations throughout the United States. So even if Florida gets hit by a hurricane and knocks out the monitoring center that's here, there's 8 more to back up to make sure that your alarm gets answered.
That's security.
And it's like, a lot of people think you have to go with these, I gotta go with AT, I gotta go with Vivid, I gotta go with Guardian, because otherwise I'm not gonna get the response that I need. And to be fair, Don, there are no rules on what can really qualify as monitor. I mean, there are, but it's a gray area. Some guy could just hire someone to sit in an office all day and then just monitor, and that's monitoring.
Now they got this AI monitoring.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
And like I said, not too many companies, do it the right way where, hey, you're really getting the exact same thing on the back end side that you would get with the large companies, and you're also getting the benefit of working with someone local, someone who knows who you are, someone who knows your situation, will answer the phone. You need somebody out there. If I can't get out there that day, I'll be there tomorrow. Like, we're gonna have someone there.
I put it in myself. I know what's going on.
I know what's going on, exactly. I mean, and if we stand behind our work firmly. If something happens within a year, like let's say we put a security system in, and you're calling me and telling me, oh, one of the sensors is saying this, I'm not going, hey, I'm on my way. Well, let's take care of that. And if it's something that's covered by the manufacturer's warranty, I'll figure that out on the back end, but I'm going to swap your sensor out for you. We're going to deal with that right then and there. Outside of a year, now it's like, okay, it's not nothing that we did, something just happened. I think it's $100 for a service call. So I'll send my technician out there, Ryan. Great. Honestly, good. He's a good employee. He does a great job. His work ethic is there, and he's not afraid to get dirty. That's what you need. He's not afraid to get in the attic. He's not afraid
insulation and all that.
Look, man. I mean, I'm wearing Hey Dudes right now. I don't want to climb in attics. And there was one day where I was in dress shoes, and he was at an installation, and I had a quote. I'm not afraid to get in the attic. I just don't like to. I'm up there in dress shoes, dress pants, walking on rafters, avoiding nails. Like,
Dedication.
all right, we can run it.
Your
from
knee
here to
hurts
there
because you're on a
because
board.
You're on a
Yeah,
board and
I remember all
wearing the
those.
shoes that are just not for that. So, you know, people kind of get the impression of, hey, we're going to be there when you need us to be there. And even when you don't think that someone's going to respond, someone will. It's always being monitored. We pay a good, I can't disclose what we pay for our monitoring on the back end,
Sure.
but we pay per customer. And, you know, that's to make sure that, hey, you're actually getting what you're paying for.
That's fantastic.
And you have an app, you can control your alarm system from your phone.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it's
awesome.
it's pretty cool, like my house. So it's nice. When I go to sleep at night, or if I arm the system like in away mode, like I'm leaving to go out, it'll automatically turn my thermostat up to 76. Nobody's home. I don't even. Who am I cooling the house for? There's nobody
I
there.
have to manually do it.
Yeah, I can. I mean, dude, look, my phone's over there on my bag, but I've got the. Hold on, where is it?
Thermostat control from here.
Oh, dude, I can control my security system. I can adjust my thermostats. I can adjust my locks.
Is that an Apple Watch?
Yes, all from the app. They have an app on the Apple Watch. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't.
But you have a chip in your head next time.
Hey,
I'm going to think it.
Get that Neuralink. I'm home. Go ahead and unlock the door for me. So it's
It is
really
cool technology.
It is.
Ryan, or Kyle, I'm
close
sorry.
enough.
Thank you so much, man.
It was a pleasure, Don.
And the website one more time.
RicknerSmartSolutions.com.
I highly recommend. Good guy, ethical. And I want to thank Coolhatch for letting me use this beautiful room. Have a fantastic day.
You as well, my friend. It's good to see you.
Now,